thought was yours. Will I ever get over? 'Cause I come to know that it's so hard to carry on. After the love is gone, after the love is gone, I had only had a clue that I'd end up losing you. I might have held on to my heart to keep for granted you gave mine till the end of time. That's all my. So I just rewatched the live from last night, and I blame Terrence really being El Teddy for allowing me to go off like that. Ridiculous.
Oh shit. This is not a good day, honey. Child. Welcome to Yes Bitch TV. Child, this is some fuckery. Hold on, y'all. Child, welcome to let's get it together, bitch. Hold on. Hold on, bitch. I just woke up, rolled my fucking piggly wiggly ass up out of bed, child. Hold on. Let's take a breath. I didn't even realize that I was live yet. Okay. Woosah, bitches. Okay, welcome to Yes Bitch TV, honey. Yes, God. Thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Yes, God. Hitting that notification bell, bitch, will update that ass each and every time I'm uploading something new. Now, again, apologies for, earlier. Anyway, so this is kind of, not so much impromptu, but impromptu, definitely because of the things that we have seen in the last episode. We really have not seen closure. I see you back there, Boo. I'm going to bring you on in just a second. Because of the things that we have seen in this last episode, we, in some way, in the fantasy world that I live in of good vibes, hallelujah, bitch, I really want closure. And I think that people deserve some type of closure. Amen. And this has been a crazy season of Chasing Dallas. Okay, if you don't know why we are all gathered here today in unholy matrimony, bitch, it's because we have special guests with us today, Antonio Rogers from the Chasing Dallas season 2. You know what I mean, show. So I know we had an opportunity to talk with him before on numerous occasions. And but again, I believe in everybody being able to speak their truth or what they consider to be their truth. I feel as if it is not up to us to determine that for them. Okay. We originally created the space for people to just speak how they want to feel. And it's not up to us to judge them. Amen. So what we're going to do is what I'm going to ask is, P, first of all, the chat, thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it. We are nothing without your love and support. Thank you so much. But what I will ask is, because there's always going to be a bitch in the bush somewhere that's going to try to be disrespectful. So what I'm going to ask is that we look within, amen, and we ask ourselves, how would we want to be treated? And y'all know that's what the fuck I'm about over here on Yes Bitch TV. After all, that is how we build bridges of unity. Okay? Whether we agree, whether we disagree, bitch, it is what it is. We can have a conversation like civilized human beings, bitch, okay? So again, thank you guys for joining me. And so let's get into this from Chasing Dallas, season 2, the enigma, the one that we haven't had an opportunity to see much of, obviously because of personal, situations, child. But anyway, we have Antonio with us this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? What's good? What's tea? That's tea. I'm here. We should have some fun tonight, y'all. I gotta get my wine because last night episode, honey, bitch, I'm a whiner at this point.
Ciao.
We're happy to be here. Thank you for allowing me to come back on, you guys. I know it's been quite a while, but honey, it's a lot of shit that wasn't shown last night, which I want to be a part of. Tell you.
I'm here for it. And that's why I believe we're all here for it. Because like I said before, closure I believe is important. When you're dealing, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, something there's some kind of feedback coming in. Everybody in the chat, can you hear us clearly? Sure, hold on. I might have to leave and come back. It may be now. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hold on 1 second.
It's me. What's up, guys? We're gonna talk about if you want to get your skin pulled, if you want to get your skin snatched, hit me up in my DMs on Instagram, or you can come to me on YouTube. He should be back. There we go.
Is it better?
I hear you clearly. So.
Okay, I don't know. It's probably just on my end then. Anyway, again, what I don't like as a viewer of a show, I don't like to oh, you're right. Let me do that right now.
Oh, you saw that I just did? Do not disturb.
Oh, that too. And then something in my background. Hold on 1 second, child. I'm so sorry.
You good? Let me see who in this. Who's watching? Who's watching?
All right, y'all. I'm back.
Oh shit. No, yeah. The tabs are closed. I'm actually working on the website. I was replying to somebody's stuff on the chat.
I think it was me. It's still coming through on my end, but whatever. I'll get through it, child. As long as no everyone else can hear me clearly, it is what it is. Okay, so again, with any show, child, hold on. This is pissing me the fuck off. Hold on, child. I can't do this. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you, love. I try, girl, all natural. You know, I don't use any store-bought products. I wish you guys would have seen more of that on Chasing Dollars. But when you got people that wants to not let you shine because you actually are shining in every scene that you were in, you know, and half the cast wear makeup anyway. So, Lord. A happy Friday, y'all. I hear you.
Everybody can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, just bring the mic closer to your mouth.
How about now?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay, good. Because I'm hearing feedback like a motherfucker and it's making my ears scratch. All right, sorry guys. You know, yes, Bitch TV tries to be way more professional than this, but child, sometimes technology is just not man's best friend. But what I wanted to say is that again, when we watch shows, especially when you're fans of a show, when things end, you like to see things come full circle, and you like to see, if not a resolution, some form of you guys walking away with a mutual respect and the issue being deaded. I did not feel satisfied with this season finale episode due to the fact that we didn't get anything of what I just asked for. And I want to know, when you came into that scene, it seemed as if your aura was willing to receive any energy thrown at you, but more so, you were ready to receive any positive energy. Walking in there, what was your mindset? Did you think that something was going to go down?
It's something I don't know what it is. I'm a Cancer, so it's just something I can just tell energy before I even walk into a room. And when I walked into the room, you know, it was very much like a sour feeling. I got in the back of my head. It was a sour feeling, and I just walked in. You know, I said, let me just keep it positive. So I've always been one with my facial expressions. Keep a positive face. If I would have walked in a mean mugging, it would have been worse than what it was. So I walked in, I seen everybody, you know, trying to be Christian. Hey, how you doing or whatever. And I sat down. I didn't feel comfortable there at all because I was like the it person. From what I received, everybody had a vendetta against me. But clearly it really was. There was only one person there. That's why that whole time, whenever I was watching me, I didn't drink liquor at people's events. I don't eat people's food at people's events because if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel welcome, I don't eat or partake in anything. I had my Yeti cup filled with white wine, and I was sipping the whole damn night.
I know that's right. Now, we've seen Ricci get into it with members of the cast before, season 1 and throughout this entire season as well. With you and his confrontation, it seemed a little
emotional for him. He seemed very emotional, distraught. He did. He
Do,
did.
do and let me ask this, playing devil's advocate, and I think I asked this on both of your interviews that we conducted a while ago. Looking back, and not on the drama part of it, but the friendship that you had, could there be some hints of truth in why he's feeling that way? Do you feel like there needs to be
Yes.
ownership accepted on your part?
Yes, and I honestly, I will be. Let me just lay it all out. Once he made it back from Atlanta, he was staying. He was staying somewhere in Irving, I believe. And at that time, CJ had a car, and CJ was helping him, get to point A, point B. At that time, I was in my own apartment doing my own thing. As a friend, I was wrong. I should have opened up my doors to him, but a lot of people don't know it was a lot of fucked up shit that she was doing to her finances before she even came back from Atlanta, and
Mm.
I wasn't happy about. So I wasn't going to open up my doors to an individual that had multiple multiple counts of not paying bills on time, evictions and repossessions. I didn't need that. And then if you didn't have a car or a job, you weren't about to sit at my house the whole damn time. So I said no. But the gag of that situation, the day that we had a conversation was face evasion. I told her no. I told her no twice. And she said, no, girl, I love you. We good. We good, Judy's. I trust you. I understand. She found somebody to help her out. And she's been doing so well. I think I don't know her personal or her financial situation. I just know what I've seen. And at that moment, at that time, if you look at it, at the beginning of the season, we were good Judy's. So when good Judy's get together, the good Judy's gonna be there thick and thin. Unfortunately, I wasn't a good Judy because when you got back to Dallas from Atlanta with the same mental mentality of finance and you wasn't grasping how to prep yourself up for tomorrow, you were so busy trying to be the girl in Dallas and all this shit. I didn't want no parts of that. I had my own shit. I took care of myself. Markel, Premier, Ricci has been to my previous apartment multiple times having a good time. So for them to sit there and say all that shit was like when y'all came to my home multiple times eating out of my hand when I cook. So I just know that she was hurt, but I can't be accountable. That's the reason why I didn't cut her off. I just stepped back. And that was the best thing for me to do.
Now, this, I don't know, out of everything I'm thinking about, this hit me as you were talking about that time period of when you weren't being a good Judy. Was all of that before you were offered a spot on the show or
That
after?
was all of you talking about when our friendship started to wither and fade.
All of what you just talked about, were you even
That
considered to be
happened.
on the show at that point, or did you come into the show after?
Well, for one, when the show started, he did auditions. I didn't have to do an audition, thankfully. I actually had something was going on. I was good. And when we, did the contract signing, Ricci was there, CJ was there, and it was good to go. It was no bad blood. We had a good time. But when we got to basically after the episode, because this timeline's all fucked up. After the scene with me at Arrow's event, that's when everything just went left and right between us. We didn't
So
have
real,
any
so just I just want to be I'm sorry, I just wanted to be clear about, so the drama, okay, the demise, the beginning demise of your relationship, okay, when he needed somewhere to stay and you didn't help him with that, all of that was, were you offered to be on the show during that time period, or was it before
Yes.
that,
It was. I was already offered the show before that even happened.
before any of the drama between the personal drama between you and him even happened?
Yeah, because if you put two and two together, if he's not even giving me green screens, what makes you think he's going to give me the opportunity to be on this platform? At that time, we were friends, and that was before the contract even was signed.
Well, what I'm trying to deduct here, and the reason I ask is because I find it funny that some such hurt for you as and
Can you
go
your phone was
through.
going out, love. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, what
I mean, I couldn't hear you. It was going out.
about now?
Yeah, I hear you clearly now.
Okay. Well, the reason I had asked the because I find it funny that some professional disdain as you are going through drama. Why would they continue to want you to be on the show if it wasn't to clown you?
I honestly, I
Because
don't. I
now
don't.
that you're telling me, I'm sorry to cut you off. now that you're telling me that you guys went through this before you were even offered an opportunity on Chasing Dallas season 2,
No,
if you find, okay, go ahead, clear that up if you
no.
have to.
The fuckery between us didn't start into the mid part of the season. Beginning of the season, we was good to Judy's at that time. Still, we were
But
still.
no. What I'm asking you is, during that before were even offered a spot on Chasing Dallas season 2, were you guys going through sound is bad, really, B? Oh my fucking god!
Say something. I heard your
Can you
mouth
hear
moving.
me?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay. I know I'm echoing. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this thing tonight. Like, I really don't know. Hold, give me 1 second, because StreamYard is not going to serve me fucking justice today, bitch. Hold on 1 second.
Well, yeah, I'm still here. What's up? But like I was saying, you guys, if you want to get your skin snatched, my main goal and my dream is to change the everyday life of skincare, not making it a trend to be natural and holistic, but making it a lifestyle. You know, for right now. But that's going. I'm gonna get to it another time today. Oh my god! But did you guys enjoy last night's episode though? Did y'all enjoy the fuckery, the bullshit, the shenanigans? All right.
All right, how's now?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay, people are saying the sound is bad. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Oh, thank you. This is my herbalist shell. This is what I get, like, I make all my soaps, my herbs, my body scrubs, sugar face scrubs, all my good Judy stuff. Oh, do I got some soap I can show you? I'm actually not selling soap right now. So, the website. Right now, I do not have a website. If you hit me up on Instagram, my Instagram name is Abetrois, Abetrois. I'm actually doing something different right now with it. I don't want to actually have a website right now until I see a little bit more traction. But if you want to order something, please go through my DMs on my Instagram. We can chat it up. I give you my number. We can call and we can place the order. And I'll be more than happy to mail it out to you.
All right, what about now? Because I
I hear
sit
you.
here and I looked it up on my channel on my other device, and it's a really bad echo. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. But I'll do my best to get through it. Is it at least good enough, chat, for y'all to at least hear what I'm saying, even with the echo there? Okay. Anyway, let's just move on, child. I hate when things don't let me be great. But okay, I found again going back to what I was saying earlier, and I apologize for this. Everyone's saying it's bad. Um, okay. Spirits of doubt, spirits of fuckery. Leave me alone, bitch. Get behind me, whore.
You sound like that prayer Markel was doing.
Huh?
You sound
Oh,
like
I forgot to mention that in my review too, because I was like, hold on, bitch, did you just like interrupt the prayer and start with
they
the
would do
fuckery
anything.
already?
They would jump on the fire to shade me. They would do so much stuff to just shade me. You really playing with the Lord just to shade me. I was just like, I feel really important right now. I do. I did.
Child, it killed me. But okay, before we jump on the other things, I just wanted to be clear about something because again, it sounds to me, and if I don't talk to Ricci or if I don't hear this from anybody else, it's gonna make me feel as if this was a setup for you. So being clear, when you guys were friends, and when that happened, when she came back from Atlanta and you didn't offer her any assistance whatsoever, were you offered to be on the show before that took place, or
No,
during that, or after
no,
that?
no.
So why would a friend that you disrespected, so to speak, and treated like trash, offer you a place on their platform? if it was, and if we saw throughout this season, even though other things transpired as you probably were filming.
Yes.
w-
A lot of stuff happened while we were filming. All this stuff before I signed my contract, we was good. When I signed my contract, we was gonna be in the middle of filming Chasing Dallas season 2. That's when the bullshit and the fuckery. Because when I was at the table with her, I asked. She said she heard so much shit about me talking shit about her. Show me the receipts. Who at the table have said something? And nobody at the table said anything.
Hmm.
And then, I'm gonna let you finish your question before I go any deeper.
Okay, because we're going to have an open discussion. I just wanted to get a few points across first because, again, having opportunity to be clear and concise and to be able to get your truth across as best as possible.
Yes.
Because we don't know when the next time you may have an opportunity.
Oh well, I will be going to the reunion. I will be going to the
Okay,
reunion.
okay. And so, okay, let's talk about Markel just really quickly because I think the Ricci thing, again, like I said in my review, I don't really like to go that deep because, like I said, I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch it yet. Where basically I just said, if it's too personal and you really have a real in depth relationship with someone, I don't think that it's right to put that kind of drama on the show because it takes away again from the original premise of the show.
That
We're
is
no
true.
longer chasing anything. We're at this point chasing our feelings about how we feel about the rest of these people around us. And again, I just don't think that it's fair. But doing the best that we can to just like move forward from you and Reese's situation because I do think that's something that you two personally one on one need to come through. Maybe with a mediator, um, maybe in a Monty Van Zant type of figure, someone who actually has a good balance that's not going to be overtly messy. Because even again, if you don't walk away being good Judies again, at least you can walk away with having mutual respect for one another. Because when I see scenes like that, I start to cringe as a real person. Like you got some of the girls, yes for the mess, yes for the mess. But I'm just like, a friendship was destroyed. Whether who was wrong, whether you were wrong or whether he was wrong, whether it was mutually contributing, I
It was
still feel
mutual.
like,
It was
wow.
mutual. It was a mutual. I feel like, and that's it. Because I'm actually looking back at the episode last night. I know it was so much, but I'm not impressed with what I did last night. That's something I'm not proud of. I actually hurt a friend. I wasn't emotional, but I was like, well, at the same time, you've been trying to hurt me this whole season. So it feels good to see that you're hurting, but at this point, you could have had a conversation with me. You could have picked the phone and say, "Hey, Antonio, I don't like the fact that, when I needed you the most, you wasn't there. I hate that. I had to go to other people in the cast to ask for help. And, even though they know my business now or whatever, I really feel like you should have been there." And I would have said impromptu, and Reese, I do apologize. But certain things that you was doing, I couldn't agree with.
Mm.
And we could have had a conversation to agree and disagree. But, for me to be 25 and for her to be 29, we have two different type of temperaments. I'm more understanding, and I have a bit. I think I just say it. I have more. I feel like I have a bigger intellectual ability to communicate and exude how I feel with my words instead of being showing that I'm an alcoholic almost hell. I just didn't get it. I was a little bit behooved. You drinking all this cheap liquor, trying to prove a point. And I was just like, it's not that serious. If you don't like me, just say you don't like me. It's not that serious.
Well, and again, playing devil's advocate and not trying to come to anybody's defense, but I know the weight of real world pressures, especially when you're going through like possible financial turmoil. Your mother is sick. The people you have around you, you feel in your head that, or it may be reality, that these people have turned on you. So you feel like you have no friends. And the people you thought you could count on weren't going to be there for you. Again, not speaking for nobody, but just trying to play that balance act here. And again, when we talk about the age difference, we also talk about lack of experience. So again, one of the things I do like to do on my channel is have people look at it from a different perspective. So being who you are, and then if someone's going through something, it
Should I be
I
more
could
Christian or
see
should I just lay on
I
my
could
back and
see
just let
how
everyone
Reese
else
in
do
some
it?
way could feel the way that he felt.
He what?
I could kind of
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I don't know if you I don't know if were you able to hear me when I was like I could honestly in some way see how he felt, but I could also see how you felt as well. But just playing devil's
Yeah,
advocate, like when you say the different stresses, like you have different temperaments, like you just stated, I think it's probably because at that point or even currently, you got executive producer playing cast. Again, no matter what our views are on the position that he plays or the things that he may invite into his world, we still see someone who's trying to balance and who is struggling while they're still trying to progress as a human being too. So could you kind of see why his temperament would be a little bit more loose?
yes and no, because at the same time, if I know that I'm a cast member slash EP, I will carry myself with a different form of distinction. The same way that he gave Trey Howard and Dior a belligerent conversation and still be able to give them a hug and still be able to, okay, you have a blessed one, even though he mumbled. Or after Markel would share an ice at him and yet they're still be able to the cahoots together. But you are mad at me because you have things in the air that you can't bring to earth to let me see. If you're gonna say that I was doing this, please show me the proof. And at the table, at this point, that whole cast at the table, unlike certain people there, I know for a fact I don't have any type of quarrel with. But for everybody at the table to say, sit there and be quiet, and I said, can you show me proof? Who said I said what? Nobody verified anything there at that moment. So I just knew it was just fuckery and bullshit. You lied on me about another YouTuber, with Wiley talking about I sent him emails. We've never emailed before. Then you brought up a relative of my family of some benign bullshit that's not even true. The way I look at the situation, and she's older than me, so she would get what I'm saying. If you ain't got nothing else to say, or you don't have any other reads to read, you make up anything that comes to mind. She didn't have anything else to hurt me with, honestly.
And again, playing devil's advocate, because I have to ask questions viewers and everybody else are going to ask. It's just me today. Shout out to the Just Us League, honey, but it's just me today. So I have to kind of still ask some of those particular questions that I think even myself want to know. Anyway, do you feel that you went a little left when you started that conversation at the last supper chat? Well, the pot of nothing situation when you were there saying the read about his financial situation or him being evicted. And then when he made the explanation that, oh, that was a setup to see what kind of person that you were if you were going to release that tea. So when you went into that, did you feel, because when that came, I don't know if that scene was cut up a little bit, but when you started speaking about it, I was like, that came out of left field. I don't really see where the conversation was asking for that particular type of tea to be spilled. But again, that's your experience, so I want you to speak on that, please, if you don't mind.
That experience, what she did, because when I read that email that day, I already called 3 other cast members that she probably wanted to figure out who the hell I talked to. And they said, oh yeah, I got the email, and the other 2 said they never received it. And one of the people that I called that day stood right next to me and said, yeah, I received the email as well too. So when they brought that email up, and I'm like, okay, you trying to throw me out. You trying to do all this nasty shit to me. Of course I'm going to go for your jugular, as well as you have been trying to do for me this whole get-go. So you sending an email about your financial damnation, that has nothing to do with me. That's your damnation, and that's the shit that you're going through in your personal life. Because lo and behold, you've been the main one has been talking so much shit about me and all this shit. But for you to keep saying we was best friends, stop saying that then. You was never a friend if you had to do all this malicious shit towards me.
Hmm.
And I will put myself under the same light. And I'm done with it. You made friends with all these other girls on the show. I'm happy for the girl. I hope that she gets her shit together. I think she's 29, 30 something. She just turned 29. I wasn't invited to the girl's birthday party. God, hallelujah. I'm hoping she see another 65 years or more. I'm not worried about the girl because the whole situation of the bullshit is you tried some shit and then you told on yourself, you didn't help me. I don't have no type of responsibility for nobody's child on God's brain of Antonio. I don't have any kids. For you to get mad and emotional and boo-ha and all this, you gotta throw your weight around to prove your emotional point and status. That's why I stood with my hands on my hips, because girl, you are acting very belligerent and unbecoming. You
Hmm.
must be an EP and the girl of Dallas, but really it was giving me an emotional girl from Atlanta that couldn't handle the pressures of living in Dallas. Point blank and period. This is Dallas. And Dallas will chew you out and spit you out. I have had my moments where Dallas tried to bite me, but I was able to get myself back on my feet. And as I was saying, when she brought the whole job situation, she deliberately, I guess she reached out to some people amongst the cast. And, she was, she needed some help. The day she came and told me, she was looking for a JOB or whatever, I just told her flat out, I can't really help you. When I first met you, you said you was against college, you don't believe in going to college and all that good stuff and other bullshit. And I just told you, girl, I do insurance, I can, give you some books, help you get your license or whatever, and get you rolling. No, girl, that's not for me. So I just said, all right, well, bitch, the most you can probably do is customer service. But judging on last night's episode, she lacks that as well.
Mm.
So that's not my problem. She said she had a legitimized career. So I'm just like, that was unnecessary bullshit. You should never even invited me if you're gonna get all emotional behind that shit. Does that answer your question?
I mean, yeah, and I really hate like I keep saying before, staying on it. This fucking echo is gonna get on my nerves.
Listen.
This echo is gonna get on my nerves. What I in receiving and hearing what Premier had to say to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. I was just looking at the little comments.
Listening to what Premier had to say to you at that table about being mindful on who you confide in. How did you receive that?
I received that really well because that was a lesson. I confided in Ricci. I confided in who was it? I confided to some more cast members. And nothing came up of me doing shit. I was just being called messy. But being called messy with no proof and no type of evidence to show that I'm being messy, I'm just like, y'all are all here. Put it on the table. But the whole thing with me and Premier with the text message thing, I'm surprised this text message thing is still that motherfucking relevant. I didn't lose no sleep behind it, so I know a certain person lost some sleep behind it, unfortunately. It wasn't that serious. The girl, they shared words on their own situation, which I didn't have no part of. But for Premier to, I don't even have an issue with Premier. Premier doesn't have no issue with me. So, if I see him, hey, he be sweet, great. If you don't, that's fine. Keep on pushing. But, and I saw Premier a few months ago at a pajama party, and I seen him, and I approached him, and he declined my conversation. He said, I don't want to talk to you. I said, I understand. I don't want to be a burden. I just want to apologize. That was not me. That was me that was just me being extra. Just point blank. That's what I said from that night. And I apologize. So if I would have never just been a bigger person, and showed that little piece of humanity that I have, and show that I'm a really down to earth individual, he would have never even said it. He probably would have been trying to throw shade or read me too. But when he seen that night, he didn't have nothing bad to say about me. It was good. I showed you a piece of who I was, not in front of no cameras. Because a lot of girls on this show, they got to put on the front of who they are. I am who the fuck I am, point blank and period. I'm not begging for no green screens. I'm not hunting for no green screens. I'm not going to do all this extra shit. You give me what you're going to give me. I just take what I have. And this whole season, I'm very much proud to say I took the little episodes that I had and I ran that motherfucking chick up. So, and this is where we at today.
So, and real quick too, was there any validity in what Markel said about you stating that you wanted to slap him when you see him?
Yes, I did say that I wanted to slap him, and unfortunately, whoever was editing that episode when Ricci was trying to use his moment to hold his finger, replay. Unfortunately, they didn't play the replay, but I'll be big enough to allude to that. Yes, that night when Markel gave his cell phone, his cellular device, to Trey Howard. Trey Howard called me, and I was at the house. I was making some soap. I was just in my own little world. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was told that you said I was an enemy. And like I said in my interview a few weeks ago, I use the word enemy not just towards him, but towards that whole group of people. Because from what CJ had going on, when he was telling me, it was just some bullshit. So when Ricci told me, hey, I'm going to support Trey in his little situation, you know, I want you to come. I said, I don't want to go. Was I wrong? Yes, because Ricci just wanted me to come there to support him supporting somebody else, which is perfectly understandable. But I just didn't want to come around nobody's situation that has you probably, I'm hearing shit you saying you paying me dust or whatever. Unfortunately, I fell under the cohesiveness of he says, she says stuff. I can allude to that. And I just didn't go, and I just told Ricci, you know, I don't see how you say my friend, and you with my, you know, those are my enemies. Oh shit. I'm sorry about that. Are y'all still there? Somebody called me.
Try to go out and try to come back in. Leave the
Hello?
studio. Can you hear me?
Are you there? Can you see me? Okay, I'm here.
Leave and then come back in.
Me?
Yes. Leave and come back in. Can everybody hear me okay? Once again, I do want to apologize, everybody. I don't know what the fuck is going on tonight with these technical difficulties. I've been saying I need to get a new camera. I need to, bitch, I need all new everything, bitch. Okay, at this point. But the IRS still hasn't sent me my coins, bitch. Okay. The girl needs to feel stimulated, honey. And I'll get to the comments. I apologize, people. I'm one girl. I'm one girl, okay? I know I'm looking like I Dream of Jeannie right now, honey. Ding on me souls, huh? Hold on. Antonio was back. All right.
Okay. So what was
Everything
we,
good?
baby? I forgot that damn quick. Look, I'm over here sounding illiterate now. What was we talking about? Bitch, I forgot that quick.
I forgot as well. Well, okay, we were on that Markel situation with the
Oh
slap.
yeah,
So you
yes, I did say that I was going to slap his ass. I did say that. I said that on Reese's cellular device that night when he was driving his. Everybody keep fucking calling me. Can y'all hear me and see me?
I can hear you and see you.
Can you hear me and see me still?
I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh my god.
Child, this is some fuck shit tonight. Can y'all in the chat hear me?
Okay. It
And
says
can
I'm
you
in
hear
show. Can you
him?
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh my fucking god, this is. It gets me out. That's how I feel today, child. This is getting on my nerves, honey. Woo. But anyway, getting to the chat, I'm going to do my best to do what y'all are requesting of me tonight. I'm going to try. We will see how that will work out, if it happens or not. I try my best to be as transparent as possible, but also respectful to the people that I have on the platform. So we'll see if that's something that will be interesting, because I don't want to tie up someone's time, but I want to give him an opportunity to speak his truth again and to be clear and concise. We are at the end of the road with Chasing Dallas season 2, and again, we have not received any real closure or a true understanding of Antonio's role in the show. So I just want to give him a chance to speak on his truth first, and hopefully we can get a different perspective than what we've had before. Moving forward. I'm sure. I'm just waiting on him to come back in, but we can talk about it until then. Let's get into some of your questions, child, real quick. Hello, child. Okay, he's coming back around. So I'll resume that y'all later. Again, thank y'all for coming through. Love you, love you, love you. Sorry if I'm not getting to your questions in the chat. I just want to do my best to get through there. Reese's in the building, and Dario's in the building. Just Us League is in the building, bitch. Amber Cotton's in the building. Carrie D is here with us. Yes, God. Yes, we are here. We are queer. Hallelujah. And we are trying to be everywhere, bitch. How is this? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard you.
I want to ask you a question. I know that we already talked about this, but I wouldn't be
I'm
able
still in the
to.
background.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but you still don't. I'm still in. It says I'm still in backstage.
Are you on another device than what you were before, or the same
Mm-mm.
one?
Okay, you moving. You back. I see you moving now.
Let's see.
You just had me. You just had me.
Pretty
You just
good.
had me. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Thank you, God. Oof.
I
My
wanted,
feet is-
as I would be remiss, and I know we already had a conversation about this. You told me your, but I want to ask again because it is a question that keeps popping up in the chat.
Okay.
Knowing my platform, knowing what I represent, knowing that I do the best I can to be fair and respectful, the on the strength of trying to build some kind of unity, would you be interested if Ricci G came on? Oh, well, real quick, hold on, disclaimer. I'll be the mediator, or because he's requesting to come on. Some people in the chat are wanting this to happen. We don't have to walk away holding hands. What I would like to do is, if Ricci can put in the chat, if this is something Antonio is interested, can we be respectful in our conversation? Again, we're not trying to walk through the meadows of life holding hands. We're just trying to have a grown folks conversation and potentially be able to move forward beyond this. Because at this point, this may very well be the last interview of a Chasing Dallas situation. Well, not the last. Hello, God. Not the last, bitch. There will be plenty more to come. But at this point, this juncture with season two and with the Antonio situation, this may be the very last time on within any Justice League platform that this takes place. So, Reese G, if you're still in the chat, can you, if Antonio agrees to you coming on, can we try to have some kind of civilized conversation? This isn't the Last Supper, okay? We're this is Yes Bitch TV's platform, and I'm not going to tell you how to be, because if you feel some type of way, you feel some type of way. But what I'm asking is there to be some kind of resolution, a conversation where there's mutual respect. If that can happen, Antonio, would you be willing?
If that can happen, yeah, I'll be willing. I can give a little time.
So Reese G, and if you're in the chat, let me know if you're willing to also, come through, respectful vibes, having a real open conversation in the effort to build at least one bridge of unity, bitch. I will send you the link. And I need it in the chat because I need a receipt. Hallelujah. I don't want no one saying that I just, did this and no. So I need the receipt to know so everybody can look back on this time. Hello, God, remember the time. Bitch, I need everyone to look back and say, okay, yes, bitch said, put it in the chat. So if we can be respectful and have some kind of open dialogue, then I'll send you the link and we can do this.
I think somebody said that. I'm looking at this. Somebody said that he left.
Okay, she's here. She just said like she told you before, she can be respectful if as long as you can, and if she disrespects you, she's gonna give you what you gave her. So,
Okay.
all right, Reese, I'm about to send you the link in your DMs on Instagram. And Antonio, I appreciate you being willing and open to this. I just sent it,
Ooh, my
boo.
skin is just glowing.
I just sent it. So while we're waiting on Reese to come through, ultimately, what do you think that you took away from the entire experience with Chasing Dallas? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on 1 second, guys. Good?
I'm here.
Okay, can you hear me though?
I hear you.
So overall, while we're waiting on Ricci to come through, overall, what would you take away from your experience with Chasing Dallas?
The experience that I would take away from Chasing Dollars is actually showed me how to put myself out there more. It's, especially with my skincare line. Ever since, especially from last night episode, I have a lot of more people reaching out and want to try my products now. So, I'm actually excited about that. That's going to work out for me in a better way. Like I said a few interviews ago, I'm taking the negative connotations of others and using that for my own benefit. So they can call me messy all day, but they can't say shit about a bitch product. They can't say my products don't work. So I'll take that over anything else.
And moving forward, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself trying to still do something like Chasing Dallas or web series or reality TV, or where do you see yourself going? Just focusing on your entrepreneurship?
I see myself focusing on my entrepreneurship, but with how I was depicted, like you said in your interview this morning, I was depicted in a certain way simply because of the EP's personal emotions that he has for me. Everybody else on the show was able to do their green screens, be invited to certain places. I was the only one that didn't have that benefit. So unfortunately, I am being portrayed by someone because of their emotional attachment they have with me.
Hmm. Let me ask you this question, and I just thought about it as well. Putting yourself in the shoes of a Reese G, and you were faced with someone like you in your situation. So
Okay.
switching places,
Okay.
is there any? Would you treat the situation the same way Reese has? If
If
someone
I
did,
was to
if
switch,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
if I was to switch places with Maurice, in that situation, he wasn't looking to just get a job to make an income. It's a certain. I think everybody has a different mental capacity to deal with stress. I know I have my ways of dealing out of a job of a situation. I don't. It takes a moment. I know I specialize in insurance, but if I know insurance is not knocking at the door for me quick enough, I would take anything I can possibly take that's going to make me an income and just deal with and rebuild myself in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I wouldn't give up on myself. And I'm not saying he gave up, but in my opinion, for how I see things, he just didn't really show me that he was actually putting himself out there. And that's just my general opinion. His facts might be changed. He might say he probably did 1,000 things. I wasn't there. I wasn't in his room when he was at that dying time when he was trying to find a job. That's not me. But if I was in a situation before I even set myself up to, hey, I know you're doing decent, whatever. I'm having a hard time right now. Can you help me? Can I stay at least a week or so? Can I stay for 2 weeks? I just need some help. I would have considered, but you just say, girl, can I just move in with you? And then you wasn't really showing when I shown you jobs that were hiring, like shit, Walmart, or I knew somewhere else that was hiring. No, girl, that's not for me. That's no. So I'm like, well, in my motherfucking head, bitch, you're not looking for a job then, because any bitch that's I'm that bitch, I'm on my shit. They're gonna take a job and make a fucking living. And any bitch that sees them working at fucking Walmart or working at motherfucking fast food restaurant, okay, girl, what's going on? Girl, just having a hard time, but things is gonna get better. Just gotta take care of me right now. Point blank and period. And be accountable for. I'm not embarrassed. I've worked at Walmart before. I worked at Walmart like a year ago when I was working 2 jobs. I worked at Taco Cabana my first year in Dallas when I just moved to Dallas. So I'm not ashamed of the jobs that I pick up. I've been doing insurance for 4 years, and I'm thankful I've been able to, every little part-time job I was able to fit that in.
But
But
real quick,
still,
and I see Reese's in the background. I'm going to bring you on in just a second, Boo. But I want to just ask this last question real quick before we bring Reese on. Um, do you feel as if making that statement, me as an individual, because I get where you're coming from. Oh, we lost you, honey. Try to come back in. Um,
me,
no, Reese left, and I don't know,
oh,
maybe having some connection difficulties. Child, StreamYard's not letting nobody be great today, honey. Um, do you think okay, that's your friend, you're in it together, but do you feel as if because I feel some way I feel you, but I also feel Reese in this situation. Let me put it this way. Do you feel like, and I'm trying to be nice about it, but I have to be blunt. Do you feel like it's your business to care what he has going on, and as a friend, just being there to support him regardless? Where you, because it sounds like to me, if you ain't got no rent money, you can't stay with me.
No, it wasn't that. It
So what he's
honestly, it
doing
was.
with his life and career, what why would that have to move
You went. I couldn't hear you, love.
the way that you feel? Oh,
Move the way that he. Okay, it wasn't that. Honestly, it wasn't the fact that he was. It wasn't the fact that he was out there doing crazy shit. But when he moved back to Dallas, bitch. Yes, bitch. It was just okay. He's back, and instead of him, her girl, I gotta get on my grind. I gotta work. You was busy trying to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, what's going on now?
can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. And what were you saying now? Sorry.
I'm here. Oh no, he said I put I. It's not that I didn't give a fuck about the girl, but it's just life is not fair. And I'm not trying to be like, well, girl, that's her shit. But when you came back to Dallas, instead of you trying to, girl, I'm trying to get on my grind and push, you was busy trying to do everything else. The first thing you started doing, you got to Dallas. Bitch, I'm finna start chasing Dallas season 2. You weren't trying to get back on your own. I had an aunt that was actually willing to help me get a car, and he was like, no, girl, that's not for me. So I just like, okay, let me stop offering my help and just let her be grown. I was 24 last year. She was 28. You're 4 years my senior. So I expect you to run bigger circles than I can.
Well, sometimes life isn't that kind. Sometimes it's not about our age, and yes, there is a higher expectation that who is older should know to do better. But we have to be honest. Everyone has a different journey that they have to go down, and some may catch it earlier than others. But my personal belief is, as long as you get it one day, because I'm 32 years old and I can admit that I still struggle. My credit is shit. I live check to check. Not to put my personal tea out there, because I'm a real person. I can own those things. Like, I don't have certain things that you would expect a 32-year-old to have. So to put those standards and those expectations on people, I think is one of the reasons why we kind of fail in our community a little bit. And again, not chastising you or coming at you for that comment, because you're entitled to feel how you want to feel. But I do think, like, as we grow, we have to realize, because you never know. Like I said in my review, we all need to take a look and remember who the fuck we used to be. Again, like I said in my review, you probably have, you are, or you will experience what it is like to be on the bottom. It doesn't matter what you have in your life. It doesn't matter your coins. It doesn't matter anything. One day you too will feel what it is like to have to feel like there's nothing. So just on the strength of that alone, I just feel like that statement really isn't fair, because everyone's going to go through their own things and they're going to learn differently and at different paces. And I feel like the
Well,
people that
I just, yes, please let me say this because I'm looking at the live chat and on Dario, basically he's trying to out like, he doesn't know me personally. He knows me through other people over the phone. We only had one phone call together, 2 phone calls, I believe. He just said, I don't give a fuck about this girl. If I didn't give a fuck about this child, first of all, I wouldn't give her the opportunity to even be on here with me. Secondly, I wouldn't even reached out to the way I reached out to her. So for you to sit here and say that I don't give a fuck about somebody, you can't say that. My actions may show other, but you don't know the in-depth situations. You only know one side of the story on Dario, point blank and period. Because you never pick up the cell phone to call me and ask me my side of the story. You hear everything on one side. So with that being said, please just keep your opinions to yourself.
and that's true. And then, and I think the same can be said for a lot of situations like that. Like, that's why I don't like to speak too much on certain situations, because it goes into the realm of being so personal that who really knows the depths of that particular whole truth. Everyone's going to walk away from a situation carrying their perspective on what they think happened or what they know to be true in that moment of things. But when you have emotions flying everywhere, and you have, again, everyone's, when they tell their side of the story, they're going to paint themselves in the best light possible. You know what I'm saying? And I think, it just goes back to being able to walk in your awareness and be able to accept responsibility for your behaviors. Letting the chat know I'm still waiting for Reese to come back in to add into the chat, so that's why we're having this conversation as well. I'm going to use the time I can while I have Antonio with us to just open up these doors real quick and try to bring some kind of clarity to them.
Well, I have some I want to bring up. It's actually with everybody's confessionals that I seen that night. I was actually impressed with it. I was actually pretty impressed with what I seen that night. I really was. I seen Ariel, she had put her 2 cents in with it, and I seen Dior there, and I'm like, okay. Now, I've been nice to these people, but with everybody else on the cast, I don't have no problem, no beef. I didn't know none of these girls before Chasing Dallas, point blank, period. I only knew who Leatherface was, King Kane, George, Ricci. That's about it. Everybody else on this cast, I'm really just, I see you and I see you and I don't, point blank and period. But for them to say all that shit about me, and I'm just like, girl, you sit right next to me. And when it was time for you to verify and so-called throw me under the bus and say I said X, Y, and Z about Maurice Gamble, you didn't say nothing. You just sat there looking pretty, dressed in red. So I'm just like, y'all had the opportunity to actually, quote unquote, read me for filth or whatever, but nobody did. Only person I had an issue with that night was Reese. Everybody else in the cast was able to, all right, girl, cool, and be done with it. That's why I am the way I am with this situation. I'm just like, it's not that serious. And to be honest with you, in the beginning of that episode, I felt like it was staged because when Mikhail got there, they started talking about how they was gonna start doing all this shit. I'm like, y'all was anticipating for a bitch like me to bust through. Y'all was practicing y'all shit. That's what y'all was doing. I don't have to practice how my reactions are before somebody get there. If I gotta read them, I don't need to have a practice situation with nobody to practice my reads and practice my reactions for camera time.
And while we have this moment with you, I do want to ask. So we see at the end of that scene, as the episode wraps up, that the police had to be called. Is this in reference to the situation
Yes,
that we talked about before, where
yes,
CJ laid hands on you?
yes. And I called the cops. I'm the reason why the episode stopped.
Oh. So the question that I have is, we're stopping to film when at that moment no hands were really laid upon nobody, but we were able to film an entire fight. Some people want to say jump scene. How do you feel about that contradiction?
I wasn't jumped. Reese didn't put his hands on me. I can give her that much of an olive branch. She did not put her hands on me.
Hold on one second.
But
Hold on. I apologize. Hold on one second. I have to do this every time my husband comes in the motherfucking building, bitch. Woodley is here. Yes, God. Woodley is me. And Woodley is me. And Woodley is mine, bitch. Yes, God. Um, Y'all saw the video today. I'm not playing. Me and Mrs. Sister Mary Clarence will run a hoe down about our man, honey. Okay? Just check it. Woodley, thank you for joining us. Continue, Antonio. I apologize. I just hit the
what's
switch.
going on now?
You're kind of frozen a little bit. Okay, you're good now.
I only just see me and you on the camera. I don't.
Oh, it's just me and you. I'm still waiting on Reese to come through. Um, can you hear me though? You're good? Are you good?
I hear you. I'm just looking at you. You see your stuff is frozen. It just has you drinking out of your container. Okay, it's starting to do something.
Can a bitch see me? And Dario, I'm waiting on. Oh, here's Reese right now. Okay. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Introducing EP and cast member of Chasing Dallas, season 1 and 2, Ricci G. What's up, bro?
Hello, good evening. How art thou?
I am good, honey. I am good. Well, obviously, the fucking technical difficulties of life are trying to get a bitch down tonight, but I'm trying to push through. I'm trying to push through. Hopefully, Antonio comes back in.
Let's
I
hope
hope so.
so.
So, while you're here, what's your take on all of this? What, in the most clear way possible? What's your take on all of this?
The interview,
Oh,
or
hold on, here's Antonio coming in now.
okay,
Hold on.
need to
All
get my
right, y'all.
microphone.
Here we go. Hello. We all here? Everybody's good? Everybody okay?
See me, I don't see you guys.
Everybody
Okay,
good?
one. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God, these people keep fucking calling me.
Okay. So while we have both people here today, and I'll get back to that question later on,
I
Reese.
don't see. I don't. Y'all.
I just flipped the switch. Hey.
Okay. Look,
Ciao.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
Okay.
this. Listen,
Yeah, let's not waste no time. I know that's right.
I mean, my take on everything is, when people lie, they want to figure out ways to get out of their lies. Um, I've yet to lie. I've thrown some shade, but I fessed up to it, and I mean, I can own whatever I've said out of spite, you know, and I can be that grown about it. But this particular situation, it's like this was a friend, somebody I looked at as like a little brother, a little sister. I taught her a lot of things. I helped her navigate. I helped her, think a different way. And you know, she is the type of person that I've learned to be one that is, when you come from a small town and you come to a big city, you automatically want to be with the girls, be with the popular girls. And so if it's not in fashion to hang out with the oddball,
Mm.
then you're going to go and navigate to whomever, which is how her and Aubrey started to hang out. Because, I mean, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Because, I mean, they worked out together. I was trying to run a show. I was trying to help out my friend Tony Price at the time. I was paying my mama bills, trying to pay my bills, and working as a consultant for the previous company that I was laid off for. So, I mean, I had a lot to do, but I still made time for my friends the
Mm.
best way I could. And so it
You
pleasured
good?
me to know.
I'm sorry, he's coming back in. Let's see.
Okay.
All
It
right.
pleasured me to know that she could find some other people to, hang out with. And so
So let's
my
bring
thing
that as
is,
one of the questions in this real quick, since Antonio, you can hear us fine. I can't. Your volume, baby. Your volume. There's no volume. No volume. Okay. Well, continue with what you were saying. I
I
apologize.
mean, that's just it. I mean, it's like, that night, everything that people had been saying, and here's the difference: stuff that people say about me, I trump every single time because people don't know me. I don't let people in. I'm very private.
I can't
But
hear
the
you, baby.
things that everybody had been saying,
Yeah, there's no sound.
But the things that everybody had been saying about her came to light that particular night, you know. And the biggest thing that made me upset was that she did exactly what everybody had been saying. She shaded me, lied on me, drugged me in front of people that held no type of loyalty to her. You know, the reason why those people, and the editing on that particular scene was really, really sparse. It was little to no editing. It just was what happened. And it's just, it was that night was, I had it because I'm tired of, when I first moved to Dallas, I was trying not to be the mean girl like I was in Atlanta. I was trying not to be that person because I'm like, I'm starting over. This is something new. I left one career to move on to another one. And I was too nice to too many people. And so when people started to attack me or say things about me and I didn't bite back, then they thought, oh, this is a weak bitch. And so when season 2 came around, it was like, there's no more of that. I'm not going to allow it. Especially when I'm literally bending over backwards to put these people somewhere. And with Tonya, there was something that she said about being on the show. So last season,
Can y'all hear me now?
season 1,
Perfect.
There we go. What we talking about?
so
Hey, Reese, how you doing?
hi. So season 1, there were talks of her. She would mention that she wanted to be on the show. And I would tell her, I was like, girl, I don't think you should because, you know, we're cool, we're friends. I got a phone call. Am I
Oh,
here?
you're here.
Am I back? I got a phone call.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. And now I can't hear.
Try,
But
if they call you, you'll have to probably go out and come back in because it just messes up that situation.
So what have I
Basically,
missed?
what we're talking about is, you know, the whole situation, getting to the point where you were brought into Chasing Dallas, and the feelings and the things that was a little bit of what you guys were going through, and like just his experience with his friends and what made him, you know, make certain decisions as it regards your guys' friendships. Good.
Okay.
yeah.
We're
But
all
I
we're all
mean,
clear.
yeah, I'm good. But I mean, you know, I mean, it is what
I
it
can't
is
see.
at
I
this
can't hear
point.
him.
Antonio says he can't hear you.
I can hear you, yes, bitch. I can hear Tonya.
Can you hear him now, Antonio?
I can't hear him. I hear you. I don't know what the hell's going on today.
There's a reason the X-Men don't exist, because if I had Jean Grey's power, bitch, I would mind explode StreamYard headquarters, bitch. I swear to God. Um,
Do I need to go out and come back in?
Try it one more time. If it doesn't work, we're just gonna have to wing this thing, honey. I would like to start over, but ain't none of that shit going on. This is live, bitch. Okay.
It's live, y'all. Oh, they telling me to go, Miss Tonio. Yeah, Ondario is right. We should just come back in.
Let's try,
Yeah,
because what I
I
want
had
to
to
do
put my
here,
fucking headphone in here.
and I appreciate the people bearing with us during these technical difficulties, because what I'm hoping for out of this is just a meeting of the minds. Again, we're not going to be walking away holding fucking hands and making cotton candy and shit like that. We're here to just come together as grown people and have some type of open discussion. Okay.
It's some form of kumbaya. Yeah.
Dario, I done left and came back so many times already, so I don't.
Who you
It's
telling?
not.
Every time I knock off, every time
Yeah,
I
I
get knocked
mean, it's
off.
it's not us individually. Probably, you know, it's probably just the service. I don't know. Maybe, you know, people got a lot of time on their hands nowadays, so everybody's on StreamYard. So that's probably what it is. It's probably a lot of data and all kinds of fucking what bandwidth and all that shit. You know that what that stuff is. And I do appreciate you guys coming, and I do apologize if I didn't get to some questions. Again, it's just me up here
My
today.
Wi-Fi
Mr.
needs some
Justice
water
League
and
here.
syrup for real.
I
But
know that I
I,
know that I. Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I
know
do
you good,
know that
baby.
I say all the time that, you know, we all have individual thoughts, but 9 times out of 10, the Just Us League can't speak for me. So if you guys can get in the chat and try to answer some of these things for them, if it's answerable, please feel free to do so. And I'm on my laptop. That's the thing I'm pissed off about. And this
I'm on my
laptop,
iPhone. I'm actually downloading some stuff on my laptop right now.
so I'm on my laptop, and it is supposed to work better. And I'm hooked up to my damn modem. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. But my computer is kind of
Can you
old.
still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay, we good, y'all. We good. So he was basically talking about the origin of our friendship and the origin of chasing down in season one, I'm assuming, right?
Pretty much. And just like just the feeling of, a lot of things that he had going on, but he's here now, so he can speak for himself. Let me know. You ready? Okay. All right, y'all. Are we all good here? Can we all be seen and heard? Yes?
I can hear.
I hear
Okay.
y'all both good.
Okay. Now let's just get before we have anything else going on, let's just get to the meat and the potatoes. At this point, where I don't want to ask the question over, like, where did all of this go wrong at? And do you feel like when people do you wrong, it is hard to go back and say, you know what, I'll fuck with this person. But being adults and knowing that just sometimes shit happens, sometimes friendships aren't meant to be. And I think that's a fact that we all, as human beings, need to accept. But can you look back and say, you know what, can we have a conversation? So basically, I'm going to leave it up to you two right now to just have this conversation. I'll be the mediator, but the only question that I truly have in this moment is, can there be some form of resolution?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, bitch.
God. My life, my life. 1 second, let me leave and I'll.
All right.
All right, is this better?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So just
Testing, 1, 2.
okay. How do we begin to try to at least bring some order to the situation? Because I don't know if you saw my review, Ricci, or what we talked about at the beginning of this conversation, where as a viewer, I think closure is necessary. Cliffhangers, especially in the form of drama, I don't think really help anybody because we know it's going to be a minute before we see season 3, and we don't know if this will carry over. Because the way it ended almost seems as if there may be carryover, which we know deep down there probably isn't. Do you think
Yeah, it's
you
definitely not
probably
gonna
could have
carry
approached
over.
this situation better at the Last Supper, dealing with Antonio and just dealing with everybody at the table, period, but more specifically your situation with Antonio?
Mm, you know, it's possible. But do I take back anything that I did or how I reacted? No. Simply because there's a difference between somebody that you don't know and then somebody that you know, that you spend time with, that you 7 days out of the week, sometimes you spend 8 together. You talk all the time. And when it comes down to betrayal, especially over somebody not understanding instead of just I've always been a person that is easy to talk to, especially if you're in my heart. You're easy. I just let me know what's up. And so if you were to come to me and say I didn't like this, I'm going to tell you exactly why everything happened the way it happened. With me and him, he was I've had told him this before, and I told him where I was at and where I was going in life, and I said, you have a tendency to talk negatively about people all the time. I said, you have to stop that. I understand, I know, girl. There's a difference between kikiing about somebody and then there's a difference between just talking about somebody. That's the reason why I didn't come to his birthday function, because he was just not he was somebody that I started to not know. So I paid it. I was focused on me and what I do. And it's a problem that I'm working on. Whenever something in my personal life is not going well, I dive into work. So I work on the show, I work on regular stuff, and I work on, whatever it is. And so when it came down to the things I had been hearing, there's a difference between he said, she said, which I totally, over the past year, 2 years, there were things that were said, from my best friend of 10 years. He's like, girl, you gotta watch her because of X, Y, and Z. I'm like, girl, I'm a person, I look out for stuff, I check stuff out myself. I even had went against my oldest friend for that. Then it was Aubrey saying stuff like, girl, she drag you, she drag you, she drag you. And I'm just like, okay, all right, Aubrey, I know you, but not really, so whatever. Then came somebody that didn't know me at all, but just through the show. Then the icing on the cake was when Ariel came to me and she didn't tell me T, she warned me. And she said, Ricci, I don't think that you need to be fooling with this person because, I mean, I'm not going to say nothing, but I said, girl, she was probably talking shit about me because of where I went to see the Spring Tap House. Now, I said that, not thinking that she was going to confirm it, because of course, I'm not thinking that my friend is doing these things. And she was like, well, at least you know your friend. And it wasn't a way of a kiki. It was a way of, let me garner this person that I'm clinging to. And so I was like, it just got me to thinking and got me to thinking. And then it was just always something. Even with Dior and his gay children, it was something. And I was just like, I can't deal with this all the time, especially when I'm looking out for you as my little brother, little sister, and there's always something. And so I distance myself. That's the best way for me to deal with things. I'll distance myself, I'll check in with you. But other than that, if you're not going to listen to me when I have your best interest at heart, I'm going about my way. The night of the Last Supper, I was not expecting, and it wasn't a setup for one, I was not expecting for Tonio to react the way he did. I was actually expecting, hey, Reese, we can talk about this some other time, like she's done before. But instead, she was in rare form that night. So, since you in rare form, I'm gonna be the ratchet
Hold on, real
ass
quick though. Hold on, real
bitch
quick.
with no class from Decatur.
Hold on, real quick. But playing devil's advocate in that situation, we can't try to foresee what a person's response is going to be when at that point. And I'm going to let Antonio speak for himself. But as a viewer, it just seemed like his back was against the wall in that situation. And if he came in there with that attitude, would you have? Do you think you still would have went off the way that you did? Because I feel like at the end of the day, you were throwing so much at him, and then he
No,
only
not
got a
that
little bit
much.
in at that time. So he's just, as a viewer, it seemed as if he's just defending himself. But and do you think that it's just fair to really assume that okay, this person is going to respond in this form when you're coming at them? And it's not about what you're saying; it's how you're saying what you're saying that could have made him feel attacked in that moment.
I can only agree with that because of who I am, and this is no shade, of the position that I hold and the position that he held. So that's why it would look like he's defending himself. But in the same regard, the simple matter of the truth of it was this was my friend that I defended against all these people, except for maybe one or two, that is now with these people, apologizing to these people, have hung out with these people, and you on their side with this shit, but you flipping on me. So that is where the problem comes in because it's like, okay, at this point, I'm it's you're scorning me, so I'm going to go off.
All right. So hearing from
Because one thing that people
Antonio,
got to understand is, yeah, it's a show. Yeah, Go ahead.
Okay.
I just want to give Antonio an opportunity to just reply to what he's heard you say thus far, just to make
So
everything even and fair.
when you say that all the time, Reese's telling the truth. And anything that I had to say, we always had a good form of communication. When I walked into that room and with him saying all of this information about emotions that he's been withholding for over a year now, I can't be responsible on how you hold your emotion and use yourself as a catalyst to lash out at me. After all the times that I tried to reach out to you, countlessly email, phone call. Oh, girl, I'm busy right now, whatever. I held back and I moved on. It wasn't that serious to me. I noticed that you wasn't even giving me a chance to even do my green screens. Even in the beginning of the green screens, even in the beginning of the show, I did green screens. You hadn't even took the accountability to even use those. So when I walked into the room, I already knew it was bullshit and fuckery because from your producer CJ, he was telling me otherwise. I need to watch my back tonight before I even walked up in there, and I wasn't really grasping that. So when I walked in, I seen Markel. Yes, I did say I was going to slap him. You know me better than anybody else on the show. You know that I'm not a physically violent person, but I have a mouth on me and I will read. When I seen you, the first thing I can't even walk down and say your whole attitude just dropped even worse than what it was. I was being respectful. I didn't come at you any kind of way, but once you started, I had to let you know you're not going to put me back in. You're not going to put me in my place. I understand that you have I give you your props. You have got yourself to where you are right now with the show, but with you going around with emotions that has been withheld for a whole year from now, you can't pin all that on me, and then you don't have any proof of friendship from these other people saying that I did these things. Like I told you the last time we was together, these girls would gang up on me because they know how close me and you are. I don't believe none of these people, what these other cast members have said about me. The shit is not fucking real because, like I asked you that night, can you please give me some type of proof? Ariel sat her ass right next to me. Dior sat his ass right there in front of me. No one said anything. So my thing was, okay, this is just basically a charade of some sorts, and it's not that serious. So I was just done. And then the second time when you brought all of that animosity again, you start walking up towards me, and I'm like, okay, you're not gonna put your hands on me. For one, I'm not like that. I know for a fact you was not gonna put your hands on me. But my thing was, you did all of that for nothing. And then since you are the EP, I'm putting you on a higher pedestal than the cast member. When I was outside with that whole CJ tobacco, instead of you stepping up, okay, y'all, this is doing too much, you added more fire to the shit. Instead of trying to be the grown-up in the situation and say, okay, y'all, listen, we're not filming. As soon as you said cameras off, you just added more bullshit on top of the bullshit. So no, I don't feel any anguish of what I done to you that night. I don't. And at the same time, since you saying this is like the first time we talked in a fucking months. I can't feel bad for if you've been holding emotions for a year this long. I can't feel bad for that because anything that you've done to me, I've always came to you out of respect and told you about it. You said, okay, well, my bad girl. It wasn't that it. We moved on forward. But when you start making these new friends on this cast, you change. And I peeped game on that. That's why I just started falling back and started doing my own damn thing. And I'm done. You can have it now.
Let me just go ahead, Ricci. Go ahead. I'll save my thought till after. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. As it pertains to, we were going back and forth, right? I didn't get angry until Tonio started to prove everybody else's point. Because in that room, it was really an unspoken thing of told you so type of thing coming towards me. I mean, yeah, we was throwing a little shade at each other. It didn't turn ugly until it was a comment that he made. I think the comment that started it really, really badly was the whole Atlanta comment. Him saying that, oh, you'll be back in Atlanta soon or something like that, as if I couldn't cut it here or I had failed or something like that. That's when the tables turned, because at that point I was like, you know exactly step by step of what you did not do. You know exactly what I was trying to do. You've seen it, the stress, the anguish, all the stuff. And so at that point, unwarranted, you just wanted to tear me down. So
Like you've been doing this whole
let's rock.
season.
And then when it comes down to friends, everybody got offended. Everybody got offended on some, well, excuse me, some people got offended when I made that post saying that I didn't have friends on the show. But something that all those people that got offended need to check is we filmed for a year. I can count on one hand where those people have called me to say, hey, how you doing? What are you eating tonight for dinner? Girl, what's your favorite color? If those people were to call me, it was, hey, how you doing? Oh, can I do this? Can I do a scene? Can we do this? Can we do that? And so, and especially the ones that really got really offended this year on the show, I have yet to hang out with any of them more than a coincidence. So it's just like laughable to me. But when it comes down to that, it's like, did I want to touch Tonyo that night? I sure did. Was I going to? If I would have got to her, I probably would have. But the thing about it is, I am a adult about certain situations to people that don't matter. And at that time, he mattered in my life. And so for you to be someone, it hurts worse, or it's a different type of slice of the throat when it's somebody that matters to you versus just maybe one of these people on the show. Granted, I may have pulled back a lot, but I mean, I explained why I pulled back, and there was no change coming from my friend's side.
Okay.
You know, when I found out that he had a surgery, I was trying to be there as much as I could. But, yeah.
Well, my thing on that part, Reese, when you, and I didn't mean to cut you off your speech, but that night when we had a conversation, it was like around like 11 or 12 or something. At that moment, even though your emotions was running high, I can be honest, I was being ignorant and I was being extra. When I called you at the beginning of the conversation, I was trying to be kind. I was trying to be understanding. I was trying to see, okay, let's have this conversation. Let's go and get past it because there's been too much drama, too much bullshit. You, okay, I reached out to Andaria. It wasn't I reached out to Andaria to get like to put you down or anything. I was just trying to get a better understanding of the bullshit because I'm like, Reese has been around my family. We know each other really well. It's not it's not that fucking serious. But when you showed me all of that shit versus the shit that I did, I can be accountable for. I can be accountable for it. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel safe. It was so many rumors going around about me with the cast saying they don't live for me. Y'all don't see it for me. I'm not a real cast member of the show. All that shit. I'm like, okay, all right. And all the episodes when I went to New Orleans or whatever, which I knew about the New Orleans trip and the Florida trip, but I know I didn't go on my own being. But instead of you knowing how I am, and you know that if anything here, I'm the most emotional person on the motherfucking show, period. But for me to get this thick skin towards everybody, it shows a lot of growth on my side. But when I called you and I trying to console the situation and be a friend, even though I can be accountable and say that we both fucked up in how we can, because I feel like I could have been a little bit more respectful in how I was saying shit, but I know I didn't go below the belt or nothing. But still, when I called you that night and tried to have a communication, you said, no, there's nothing to talk about. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of me trying to work things out with you and you won't even give me the time of day to have communication? I tried doing that the night you was on my last interview with them. And, I said, hey, can you please give me a call? Here's my cell phone number. I want to get something off my chest. And I'm not sure if you've seen the email or you just looked at it and deleted it. Knowing you probably just deleted it because you don't read half the shit I sent you anyway. So
I saw it.
I
didn't delete it. I saw it.
Well, my thing was, if you see me trying to reach out and be, okay, let me have a sense of communication with you. You have had communication with everybody else on the cast, from you disrespecting you, from throwing chairs at you and all that good shit, but yet you want to come at me and you going off of he said, she said stuff. I know half those girls on the cast don't like me. I don't give a fuck about half of the cast, period. I'm not worried about them. If anything, I was happy to be on this platform because my friend gave me the opportunity to date, well, I didn't even get a chance to show my skincare line, but still, you gave me an opportunity. You could have said, no, girl, you got to audition like everybody else. And you gave me an opportunity. So those first 2 episodes, those were genuine moments. I really had a good time. We actually doing this shit. But ever since that episode after Ariel's event and the bullshit and fuckery there, after I told you I wasn't the one that caused the shit, that shit was Leatherface Markel. That wasn't me, and you didn't believe me. So that's when you did your thing. You just cut me off from there, and I was like, okay, well, fine. She said, I'll let time heal, and surely we can get a chance to get back together. But when I went to the reunion, I mean the final dinner, as you put it, I felt ambushed. I have everybody trying to come at me from every which way, left and right, and then you sitting at the table and taking all this liquor, and all it's doing is making the situation more worse. And everybody that's sitting there looking at me and you, we're embarrassing ourselves. I was morally embarrassed acting like that. And I know you was embarrassed because we both don't act like when we first met each other. You told me, I quote, you can't fuck with me if you're not on your shit, because if you're not on your shit, you can't be my fucking friend. We both had that agreement and we both was on our shit. And I'm not throwing it back in your face, but it was just certain things that you was doing, I was just like, I'm not supportive of that. And with all that shit that happened that night at the table, I was like, well, thank you for showing me who you are. So you say you see me for who I am, that's perfectly fine. But the thing about me, I can actually go back and pick up the shit and show you. You going off what other girls are saying about me. You know, a lot of girls got my name in their mouth on this show, and I'm not worried about them. I can care less about them, hell. But you, I always held you because at the same, even though we wasn't talking, you can ask Cameron how many times I seen him. But he said, "How you doing? I'm doing good. How's Reese? Oh, Reese's fine." And going about my business, I always check up on you. But you, the one that closed the door down on me because you feel that I was going around doing all this shit behind you, and I'm like, the shit is not even verifiable. You know how many bitches would say that I said some shit and knowing that shit is not fucking real? They didn't like the fact that we was fucking friends.
Let me interject here real quick because again, on the strength of being a real person and having emotions, and again, having lived experiences, especially going through the whole friendship dichotomy, I think it's important to take away from both of your situations. There is a heavy, heavy, heavy emotional storm that has been brewing with you guys. And Antonio, on just the strength of what I've seen, and just sitting back and observing the conversation and the concerns that Ricci is talking about, I don't think most of this, yes, other people playing a part in he say, she say may have something to do with it. But the bigger part that I noticed that we've seen through the season, even when we talked to Ricci before on interviews, what he's most hurt about is the fact that when he needed help, he felt as if his friend that was supposed to be there for him turned his back. You did agree, and I hate to bring this up again, you did agree and you did say you felt like you could have dealt with that differently by being a better friend in that moment. Is it possible to acknowledge that fact and just say, you know what, I apologize. I'm sorry about how I made you feel. Again, we don't have to leave here holding hands, but just saying, you know what, just a day, because it's a lot. It's a lot of things to unpack here. And I think at the end of the day, sometimes simple is best. And if there's a way, can we just agree to say, you know what, I had my part in this. I may not have been doing the right things. I may not have made the best decisions as a friend. But again, these are opportunities for us to learn and grow from. Ricci, you had something to say just real quick? I know you had your finger up.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was when I was going through and he was at his capacity of what he could do for me. I don't look at it as, well, in the heat of the moment, I said that he wasn't there for me because that was the easiest thing to say. But I mean, he may have offered up what he could, and I was okay with that. As a friend, I can't put more expectancy on somebody if that's all they got to give. Totally fine with that. My problem, and then even as I continue to hear, she dragging you, she dragging you, she dragging you. Granted, people would return that comment, But I said the exact same thing to everybody. Oh, girl, she young. She gonna do what she gonna do. Y'all let her live. That's it. That's all I've ever said. And when it came
I'm still
down
here.
to it, okay, when it came down to it, that night was the icing on the cake because she came with this, she came ready with some particular energy. I wouldn't have said nothing to her. She wouldn't have said nothing to me.
What did I say to you when I
Or
walked
I
in?
would have, I don't remember if you even said anything to me, to be honest.
I said,
But
hey. I think I said, I just spoke to everybody and sat down.
yeah, you spoke to the table. But I mean, and then keep in mind, yes, Bitch TV and everybody in the comments, thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for being a supporter of Yes Bitch TV. But I'm working right
Thank
now.
you.
This is an interview, and I'm going to answer the questions that the interviewer has. But as far as anything between me and Antonio, I mean, that's done and over with.
Period.
That is what it is. There's no like I said, like I told her on the phone, as long as you respect me, I can respect you. I mean, I've known us to be in the same places at the same time. People have saw her before I saw her, and I just kept my distance because I'm not gonna overextend myself anymore for people in my life. And so, you know, even if we do a season three, because right now I don't really see us doing a season three, just right now. And he is invited to come back. I mean, if my producers say, hey, Ricci, you need to have a conversation with Tonio on camera, I'm going to do that because that's a job. The fans in the comments wanted me to come on. This is the job. But when the red light goes off, I'm going to my respective corner.
And I guess that's one of the things that I do want to say, because I know you've probably seen it throughout my reviews and my fellow Justice League members' reviews, is that there, and I know you're probably tired of hearing this shit, but from what we see through the season, is the head of EP, the head of cast member, in the situation that I feel like could have been stopped if we don't put our friends or people that we have a real personal past with on our show, because you said this is your job. And a lot of times, and what do they tell us in HR? Don't hire friends. Because if things get too messy, we may have a lot to answer for at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Looking
like
back,
now, I mean, mhm.
and if
And
there
like
is going
even
to be a
season
season
one,
3, will you change the way you do that by not having friends
I
and have
will
so
say
much personal
that
shit going on?
I will say that what I will do is if you are a friend of mine, you can work in a way that's going to help me propel my dream. So if you want to work on production with me, if you want to hold a camera with me, I'm gonna still put my friends on because that's what I do.
Hmm.
But as far as being on the show, because I do a fabulous job of keeping the two separate, it's everybody else that can't separate the two. And especially when there's a person that has a personal tie to me, they don't know when to figure out who is this and who is that. Am I supposed to feel slighted with that? And the only person I think that really grasps that on the show is Markel, to be
Hmm.
honest. But I'm gonna always go tooth and nail for my friends. I'm gonna always go
His
hard for
phone
the
is, I
cast to
mean,
defend them.
his stuff is cutting up.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you, see you perfectly.
Okay. But I'm gonna always put
Hello.
my friends on and help my friends any way that they possibly need help because that's just who I am. And if you turn out to, and I hate to
Okay,
use
do
this
I need to come out of?
analogy,
He's gonna go
and I
out.
hate to use this analogy. I hate to use this analogy, but bite the hand that feeds you, or I mean, that's just on you. But just know, I'm not, I am not adult enough right now to understand how to readapt to a person who's hurt me so deeply. And
Hmm.
so I'm okay with where I'm at with Tonio right now. I wish him the best. I do regret saying his product was not a good product because it is a good product. I used it faithfully and I've sent him customers and he does have a good product. Everything else that I have said about Antonio, I do not regret.
Now, when you spoke earlier about doing a good job of separating the two in everyone's drama, almost of what I said in my review of the season finale episode is that if you know that you have this personal thing going on with the cast member, do you, in the way that you responded to a lot of the things that were happening to you this season, emotion is everything. And the emotion that you served was you were over all of this. You there was probably some hints of regret, but in a lot of the ways that you handled it, it just reminds me, should it have been on the show? Because again, I think it takes away from the original premise of what chasing, reality is trying to serve kids. That much into it, do we, again, with the fight and then with your situation with Antonio, and then, obviously some things that went on with King Kane and George and obviously Trey Womack, that consumed, I feel like a lot of that, I feel like a lot of that consumed the original premise of the show.
I would say,
And I
I
wanted
would
to
say
almost
this.
attribute, and I'm sorry to say this real quick though, but I have to be real. I almost attribute that to, again, my perspective, and again, you can tell me if I'm wrong, you not being able to be unbiased because of your personal relationship with some of the cast.
So what I was saying is I'm happy that we're having this conversation now that the season has wrapped and we're going into the reunion because I want everybody to bring any energy that they have now to the reunion. But now that y'all have seen the season, I would like for y'all to go back and keep that same thought process because it's a catch 22 because if I cut some things, because let's be clear, if we're looking at bias, I've been biased towards each person on the cast in their own way. Because there were conversations that had been had amongst the cast that I cut out to save that particular cast member's vision in the other person's eyes. And so it's just like it's just a catch 22 of what you can and
Okay,
can't
what
do.
the fuck is
I have
going on
always
with this
said
shit?
I have always said that I would fall on the sword for the show. I would rather me being the problem than them being the problem. But at the same time, everybody on the show obviously sees, they know exactly what's going on. So when you come at me, it's like, oh, okay. So you want it. And so that's when it offends me. And then that's when I have to go ahead and be, it don't even be it be just a regular person that is not about business at that point. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, I will always take responsibility for putting the fight on the show for all this stuff. But the main things of it is if I have been biased, I've been biased towards everybody because I have literally begged them to put product out. And I'm going to tell you right now, exclusive, if there are any person on this show that comes to the reunion and say that I didn't want to show their work or try not to show their work or something like that, I am going to air the previously recorded green screens that I have of them talking about the work scene that they were supposed to do but never submitted,
Mm-hmm.
just to let y'all know what time it is. Because it's not that I did not want these people to succeed. I sent out an email saying that I was going to pay for a website. If y'all want me to invest in your business, I got you. So, there's certain things that just, if you want to show
Can y'all
up to
even
go to
hear
work,
me?
then show up to go to work. If you don't, then you don't.
You good,
I
Antonio?
can't see you guys.
Are
I
you
don't know. You
good?
can just bring her back. It might be the three.
I can hear y'all.
Can you see us too?
Why? I'm in the back. I'm in the back. That's why.
You good? Can everybody, you can hear us? Everybody's good? Because I can see and hear y'all clearly.
I'm here. Can you bring me up?
You're up.
Well,
Child, go ahead. Just speak on it, honey. 'Cause-
I mean, and it's, I mean, and, I mean, I'm over being mad about it. And like I've always said, as long as you're respectful towards me, I'm gonna respect your platform. You feel me? But other people's platforms, they want the rah rah Reese, so I'm gonna come and do a job. I've been in the industry over 10 years, so I know how this thing goes. And
Mhm.
so if y'all want the numbers, I'm gonna give you that. If you want to be chill and actually have a heart to try and reconcile what you're doing, I'm gonna give you that. But as far as me and Tonyo, I mean, she has some growing to do, and so do I. So maybe if there is a season 3 that leads into a possible season 4 and a season 5, and she's still around, maybe I would have grown enough to understand how to deal with hurt from someone. But right now, I don't want it. I
Introducing
don't
another
at
member
all.
of our Justice League, honey. Really, BTV is joining us real quick. Yes, God.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Reese? How you doing, babes?
hey, girl.
What the fuck?
I'm loving that goatee though. I just want to let you know that now. I'm loving it. How
Hello?
you say, Reese? Yes.
It's just I'm in
Put your
backstage,
camera.
y'all.
Now your camera is. I just had a couple of questions from the chat. I wanted to kind of because I know time is starting to get a little tight, so I wanted to bring a couple of questions from the chat to kind of address some of what we found out in the last episode. And I know there have been things that have been said throughout the season coming. You know, we know you always have your receipts, Reese, and we know Antonio. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to clear some stuff up. So, can we clear up the green screen? Because Antonio has been saying that he never got an opportunity and that he even did a green screen that you never showed. I'm getting some other information that y'all even tried to show up at the man door to do a green screen. So can you clear up the and I'm sorry, I don't know what he keep coming in and out, but can you clear up the green screen? That's been a big thing that
I sure can. So the initial green screens that Tonio is talking about that never showed, I never showed any of those particular green screens of any cast member because we were in director's chairs. And after talking to Ondario, he was like, I don't like the way that looked, and the lighting is off. So we couldn't use that at all. So everybody went back and reshot those beginning green screens. When I reached out to Antonio to do that, he was not available. I would say maybe a month ago, I want to say maybe a month ago, right at the beginning, right before COVID hit, I started to, I invested in, I have a green screen, and I told everybody before COVID hit now, before we were quarantined, I said, I'm coming to everybody's house to do your green screens. We're going to pin it up. We're going to put the green light, we're going to put the light up. There's the light right here, and we're going to get it done. We're going to do everything. I set up Antonio's. I had to reschedule the first one. The second time, I was ready to go and do those greens. I showed up to his apartment and I actually recorded a video. If it comes up as a reunion, then I will show that information. But I recorded a video saying, hey, y'all can see I'm at Tonio's apartment. I sent 3 text messages and I called him, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 times. And then I left because y'all, I still got to get up and be at work at 7:30.
Ugh.
And so my thing was,
Can y'all see and hear me?
I was,
I'm so damn
yeah.
done with my life right now.
yes.
Damn,
And
so
so the
done.
thing about it was,
Baby,
Antonio
yeah,
had
I
me
don't know what's
blocked on
going
his
on. It's
phone.
not letting me in. It keeps, I don't know why. I'm
You're
sitting up on
on. We
fucking
can
Wi-Fi. I don't know. I even got my
Antonio,
laptop off.
we're on. We can see you and we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, everybody's loading up.
Huh?
Okay.
You're there, boo.
This
You're
is like
there.
hell in motherfucking Grimstone.
Okay. I'm sorry, Reese.
Child, this is not cute on me. When is it available with Wiley? Tonight.
So what happened was, if y'all are familiar
Okay.
with
I hear
iPhones,
you, but
I
I
had
can't
sent
see
messages and
nothing.
they was green,
This is
and
so
I was blocked on his phone. And so I went home
Okay.
and I called on Dario and I was like, I called Cameron.
Did Reese freeze you? Oh.
I called on Dario, I called Cameron, and I called CJ, and I let everybody know. I said I did what y'all wanted me to do because I didn't want to do it, to be honest.
But you did try to give him that. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Are we good?
I can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm woosaying, bitch.
I know it's okay.
I am
Yeah.
woosaying.
Okay, it's okay, baby. It's okay. All right, now my personal question. I've been dying for this answer since last night's episode. You threw out there that you sort of did the okey doke. You tried. You basically you weren't sure if Antonio was selling you out, so to speak, and so you kind of you threw the okey doke. You sent him a fake email to see if that information would get back to a certain place, and you found that to be true. So you're saying that Antonio was sharing information about the cast, about the show that maybe he shouldn't have been sharing to other vloggers, and you were able to confirm that. Okay, I'm not gonna say that other vlogger's name, but
I'm not gonna say his name either. But actually, I was not able to confirm that he was sending information to that blogger. Let's be clear about that. And I never said that. But the person who told me, a cast member on the show, was one who had told me actually the night of a particular scene. He was like, "Oh, well, you know that's Antonio who was sending that information." I was like, "How you know?" He was like, "He still talked to one of my children." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so
go ahead, Ricci.
And so what I did was, I sent the email undisclosed, and the only person that was on that email thread was Antonio. And I told Cameron, who was my right hand with the show, I told him, I said, if Tonio brings this email up because of what the email said, I said, I ain't got no money, so we got to push the show back, and I'm getting evicted, which is all a lie. And I was like, if Tonio bring this up, since he's been trying to reach out and rekindle the friendship and say he's my friend, if he brings this up in front of all these people, he's trying to humiliate me. And so rest assured, he voluntarily brought that up in front of everybody, and everybody was shook. Even Ariel was like, nobody got that email.
So now Antonio was saying that that's not true.
Actually, the screenshot that was aired is undisclosed, and it's only Tonio. And Tonio actually responded with a very nice response and said, "I hope you get through whatever you're going through," or something like that.
So Antonio, you're saying that that's not true. So who else was the email sent to?
Okay, so I called a number of cast members that day.
Well, I mean, Antonio's lying right now because
Wait a
I
minute.
sent it to
Well,
him.
let him finish. So you wait a minute. But my question: so who else got it? Who else got the email? Everybody. You saying the rest of the cast got it?
I called Ariel. I called Buddha, and I also called those people. I called Buddha. Buddha said he haven't received it. I called Ariel, and Ariel said she said she's not sure. She said she's not sure. But that night that I stood up and you tried to vindicate me for saying it, she stood up as well and saying, "Oh, I got the same email." Did you not remember? Because we can replay that shit. She said she got the same email. Go back and look at your season finale and look towards the end. She stood up right next to me, dressed in red, and said, "Oh, I got the same email." You can go back and verify if you need to. What have I missed as I've been going, you guys? My Wi-Fi, I just cut my laptop off, so I'm good. I'm running. What have I missed?
No, the only thing you missed was I asked him to clear up the green screen, but we already got your side of. You told us about the green screen, so
my side, his side.
That's not true.
Right, we've gotten your side. You've already told us that you were not able to do the green screens because he kept scheduling them when you were working. You already shared that. So now, what about when he said he showed up at your house?
Thank you. I'm glad you said that, beloved. See, that night he sent me a chain of emails saying, I quote, "I'm at your apartments." I said, okay, cool. Then he sent me another email saying, I quote, he sent me a screenshot. He texted my old iPhone, my old cell phone. It was an Android, unfortunately. And it was green. And it said,
what?
I was...
Go ahead. Nothing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It said in the, and I'm actually going to post it tonight on my Instagram. He said in the email saying the screenshot was basically I was in disclosure of a contract with Wiley or whatever. And I did an interview with him, but I didn't have a green screen. Then he sent me another email saying he's been down there for like 15, 20 some minutes. Then he sent me another email and made a video of him at my apartments. Now, you guys, let me just be real with you. I'm a very logical thinker. If you see that someone is not picking up phone calls or picking up phone calls or text messages, but yet we're going back and forth in email. Logically, in your brain, a bell should go off and say, okay, if I'm not picking herself, if her phone is not picking up, and her iPhone messages are not going through, but yet she's replying to my emails. Hey, girl, I'm downstairs. Can you please let me come? Can you please come get me? Once I seen that you made a video, I ran downstairs and come say, like, where you at? You was already gone. And I'm like, that was a waste of my time. I was in Louisiana that very weekend checking on my family because of the coronavirus situation. But what pissed me the fuck off, do not waste my time. I don't like my time to be wasted. I drove all the way from home to be here, get dressed up, get cute. I have some soaps. I have some, yes, bitch, I was mad. And
So you,
I had all
so
of my
you were
stuff
getting the
like,
emails, but you weren't getting the text messages. You were getting his emails, but you weren't getting the text.
yeah, I didn't get any text messages or phone calls. So the
Okay.
one of the EP from Atlanta said I blocked him. I said no, he's not blocked. I sent the screenshot of my blocking. I said no, he's not blocking this cell phone. He was blocking my old phone, but this is a completely different cell phone number. So my iCloud is not going to block that same number. And I'm like, I'm not getting anything. But he did text my old phone. And that's when they started saying it was he called and texted my actual cell phone. I said I haven't gotten anything from that. And Ondario,
So Ricci
Ondario
was at
sent me
your,
that email.
okay.
Okay.
So
Huh?
Ricci was at your house. So let me, because I'm just trying to get to the questions people asking in the chat. So regardless of whether you were the only person that got that email or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care who else got the email. Did you tell that other vlogger any information in reference to what was going on with Ricci? And did you? You did not. You did not.
No, and I
Okay.
actually have an interview with him because that last night I got 5 phone calls from people. What my oldest cousin, he was outraged that he was lied on in that episode. And Wally called me, he was pissed off because he said, we never had an email thread before. We only DM'd and we've never talked about anything but having interviews. So I'm like, okay, well, you guys, I do apologize on his behalf. He lied clearly. And so we good to go, whatever, and moved on from it. I don't know why she fucking lied.
Put
If you
your
put me in the
headphones. Try to talk a little bit more into your headphones. You're coming in real low.
No, I don't got my headphones in. But my thing was he lied. He lied on my cousin. Then he lied on Wiley, saying I sent Wiley an email talking about the funding of Chasing Dollars. Maurice Gamble, please let them know that we don't have any funding for this shit. We're not getting fucking paid. The most that we're actually getting is a like and a couple of compliments and a couple of
But
comments
no,
on
but wait a
Instagram.
minute. But it does cost to do the show. So it does cost to do the show. Y'all might not be getting a paycheck, but it does cost to
But
do the show.
I've never spoken about Reese's pocket of his finances with anybody. It's
Okay.
not even important. I don't even know how much the girl got. I'm not trying to figure out. We don't even
Okay.
talk. But for her to lie like that, it was like, what else can you say
Dre Simba,
as you
stop
cough?
it. Dre
Girl,
Simba.
coronavirus.
I'm sorry. Dre Simba's in the chat cutting up. I'm sorry. Dre Simba's in the chat cutting up. Okay, because I just want to clear some stuff. Now that we got both of y'all here, I just want to clear up what stuff that's been going on and what's being said. And I think those were some of the biggest issues as far as what was being said. Somebody got a plan in the background. It's an echo.
Look, I want to just chime in real quick because we're almost at 2 hours.
I'm sorry, yes, bitch. I just came on and took over.
No, that's fine, baby. That's fine. So the original, idea that I had when both y'all are on here.
Real quick,
Oh,
that's it. Drop your cash app in the chat in case anybody want to bless you for this wonderful interview that you worked hard on, honey. Just drop it in the chat if anybody want to bless you. Who do you got
it's
paid for?
it's it's in the thing that streams across the end of the thing, but I'll put it in here too. I
On the
want to go ahead
back.
and
Oh,
keep
I
it
didn't see it. My
live.
bad. I didn't see it.
But like I was saying, what I want to take away from this is there a possibility that we can walk away from this with some kind of, okay, girl, I see you, you see me, we can just go ahead and dead this
Yeah,
and just move on with our lives.
I believe that's already been stated. That's already been done. I wish her nothing but the best and success in all her endeavors, and I hope that she feels the same way for me. But do I feel that it's? Do I feel no? I don't feel like it's even worth to even try for me to even attempt or her to even attempt because at the end of the day, we both hurt each other, agreeable or not. We both hurt each other, period. But my thing is, if you're gonna sit here and believe the words of other people that you just fucking met on accusations that people say, and you can't even verify them, say it, okay, did he say that? And they go like, well, that's what I heard. Because I was in high school recently. We all was in high school at a point in our life. We all have dealt with the I heards before. So I'm just like, if you can't, a bitch can't get up and say, Tonya told me this, which now motherfucker at that table did. I'm just like, girl, what else? What else is new? I've been called messy throughout this whole fucking season. I'm at this point, I'm like, okay, what else? What else is new? What else have I haven't heard in my life?
So, resolution, is there a possibility for any?
For the rest, after okay, if there was to be a resolution, honest, I don't even see it. I think we've been doing good, quite well. I've been doing good for my life, so I don't know about her. How have you been doing,
But,
sweetie?
but, but what I have to say
what I
about it is
will,
real quick. I
what I will
apologize.
say is that
Just real quick. What I mean by resolution, let me be a little bit more clear. Can we walk away with this saying there's no bad energy? Because you can walk away, how you guys are, at least Antonio, from what I'm saying, when we walk away from this, there's still going to be a sense of bad energy. Can we just walk away with this like,
No.
girl, like that situation is dead. I done moved on. Peace be still, peaceful still. And I got my piece that is made of steel, honey. Yes, God. So that's all I'm asking for is can we walk away from this with no bad energy and just be like, I pray for you, you pray for me, that there's no ill will, and we can just move on. That's really what the clarity that I want coming off. Because if we keep dragging these little bits and pieces of the things that have tarnished and brought death upon your relationship with one another, I don't think we're ever going to be able to get to that place where the energy is clear enough for us to be at least in the same environment as each other.
Okay, well, I'll be the first to step up. Then I will be accountable. I can apologize to you, Reese. Even though I felt that my opinion on how you was doing things when you got back to the house and when you did need me, I could have stepped up 10 times more than what I would have. And I said, I hate saying like I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do want to apologize for that. I could have been a better friend. I let my opinions and I let how I look at things cloud my judgment on what you had going on, because at the end of the day, I'm not God, and I can't treat people on the way they live their lives. And I felt like instead of me trying to be a friend, I felt like I was like, okay, well, girl, you fucking your shit up or whatever. I ain't got nothing to do, so let me just keep myself out of it. And that was just a mentality that I had. So I do apologize for that. And hopefully you can accept it. If you can't, just know, I'm not expecting you to, jump for joy and, but I do apologize for that. I can be accountable. I was wrong. I could have been a friend when you needed me the most. I wasn't there. And the only reason why I wasn't there, like I stated in my other interviews, it was just a lot of things going on. I know that you was chasing your dreams, and in the beginning, the first year, season one, it was spectacular. But after the season went and you was dealing with all the withdrawal, with all the the financings and all that stuff, and you kind of things hit the fan. Instead of me stepping up, which I know I stepped up when you was here, but when you got back, honestly, I was just like, you've been gone. I did call, I did reach out whenever you was in Atlanta, but when you got back, you had the same mentality, chasing dollars, and you wasn't really showing me a sense of, okay, girl, let me get my coins up, let me do this, let me do this. When I was pulling some strings, you was like, no, girl, I'm good, I don't want it. And I was like, okay, cool, fine, all right, don't worry about it. But when we got to the table that night, sis, you damn near just balled all your emotions and said, well, girl, these other girls helped me. And I'm like, that's not true. I did help you. I just wasn't really there when you needed a place to stay. And it's just point blank and period. I wasn't doing that to be a malicious person. But when you say that these other girls was helping you and shit, those same girls that you asked to help you find a job, those are the same ones that came back and said, oh, girl, Reese's looking for a job. And I never said nothing to you because I was like, well, you always said, I quote, whatever's in the streets about me, I put out there myself. So I was like, you grown. But I do apologize for my actions that I put on you when you got here. And I hate that you felt like you were scoring. You felt like I was trying to cut you, and I really wasn't. But at the same time, putting yourself in my shoes, I'm in a room with girls that don't like me, don't see it for me or whatever. And you sitting here drowning your emotions out with champagne and shit. And instead of
Please
trying
come
to
back.
do
I need disclosure, girl. Please come back. I need the closure.
So was that I'm not even being funny. So you apologize though, right?
I'm apologizing, like I'm
For your
sorry.
part.
I'm being
Yeah.
bigger, but I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Okay.
And if she just gonna hang up like that, that's fine. I'm at least I'm
No,
gonna have to go and
no,
say I'm
no,
sorry.
No, we
no.
just have technical
No,
difficulties. That's all.
it's real, but it's
Oh, they
real.
have technical difficulties. So
Okay, so we heard what Antonio had to say. Reese G, same question for you that was for him. How do you feel about being able to just part ways? Is there things you feel like you should apologize for? You
Could you
know,
repeat the question?
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of forgot it. Hold on. Okay, basically it was in the same sense of is there can you walk away with this with no bad energy? Is there anything you feel like you think you should apologize for? And just being able to just move on and providing some kind of closure to the the storm that is your relationship, that has been your relationship with Antonio.
I'll apologize for what I've already apologized for, which is shading his product because he has a very good product. I don't want to ever take a bag from anybody, and that is really where my apology comes from. Um, I thank Antonio for being a part of the show. I appreciate him for being a part of the show because without being a part of the show, there wouldn't have been enough content or entertainment for people to watch. So I appreciate that. Like I told him before, as long as he's respectful to me, I'll be respectful to him. But if he's not, I am going to retaliate. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go back and forth with um, the word game because it's obvious that some things that he was just saying got misconstrued. It is what it is, whatever. But the friendship is gone. It's done. Um, the respect, I respect him because the Bible teaches us to respect every child of God. So I will respect him as long as he respects me. If he disrespects me, then I will retaliate.
Huh?
Yeah. I love you, yes, bitch TV. I love you really big, cats meow, Teddy.
And you know,
All of y'all on the Justice League. I really do appreciate y'all. But that's where I'm at. And
I
right
don't hear
now,
nothing.
where I'm at in life, I'm okay with that.
okay.
Can you repeat? I couldn't hear that.
Can you hear any of us?
I can hear. Hold on. Let me step the fuck.
Okay.
yes,
So
bitch. I'm a thank you for letting me come on.
you're
I'm
welcome.
gonna just come on. Reese, you know how it's love, baby. I'm gonna go ahead and drop off so you can close it out. Okay.
All right, boo. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for letting me come on. I appreciate it much.
You're welcome, love. No problem. Um, I feel though as we go to the end of the road. Hold on, he's trying to
And
come
I'm gonna
back
get out of
down.
here too. Yes,
Okay.
bitch.
What I wanted to say to everybody is I do appreciate the chasing
I'm gonna
reality
get out of here too.
brand.
I'm gonna let you close it out, boo.
Okay. Thank you for coming on, saying your truth. We appreciate it. Okay.
Yep, bye.
All right. Bye. Antonio Ricci's leaving the building. Is there any final thoughts? Can you hear me?
I hear you clearly. My phone has been beating my ass over here. Ooh.
Hey, over here too. This connection is really fucked up. But we're trying to push through. Is there any final thoughts? Is there anything that you want to leave the people with in this final moment, honey?
Hmm. I don't know what to say right now. I can't change the narrative that's already out there about me based off someone else's emotions getting clouded with work. Um, all I can honestly say at this point, where it is what it is and it's done. It hasn't affected my work life or whatever, my coin, and it's actually, honestly, it actually gave me more of a highlight in the industry, when people want me to do their skin. So, if anything, I'm happy about that. So at the end of the day, if she can't say nothing nice about me, and she can say that my products work. That's the best. That's the best compliment I can give from anybody. So, but I want to say thank you and the league to give me the opportunity to be on here. Whatever, I really do appreciate it. Honestly.
You're welcome. Again, it's always trying to create a space where people can come and speak their truth and, not be judged for it. I know it is kind of hard, to deal with certain things and comments that people are going to say. We are not, I want to remind everybody, we are not purview to the in depth smaller pieces that make up the whole of these situations. So that's why I always try to reserve my judgment the best that I can. And I hope you guys can understand that as well. Antonio, I appreciate you coming on and I appreciate you speaking what is considered to be your truth. And at the end of the day, I may not have gotten exactly what I wanted or what, a lot of the fans or the viewers wanted, but we were able to show some type of progress by having a meeting of the minds and also by trying to give you a space to speak your piece because, again, we didn't get a chance to really get that, to get to know you well enough on the show, obviously, due to,
Unfortunately.
yeah, so appreciate you coming on. Um, let everybody, I already put it in the chat, but please let everybody know where they can find you, how they can inquire about your products, and, plug all that stuff.
Well, my name is Antonio. I'm sure you guys know my name enough already with so much going on with the show. Avetrois, Avetrois. That is my YouTube and my Instagram. And I am actually getting ready to make a new Facebook. Yes, I'm getting ready to make a new Facebook on the Facebook sometime today. And I'm actually going to be posting a lot more content with the products on there. But other than that, I just want to say thank you guys. If you're in the industry looking for natural skincare, I'm your guy.
All right. Thank you so much. The
Thank
chat,
you.
I really appreciate you all. Just Us League, I really appreciate you guys for coming through. I do apologize that I did not get an opportunity to get in the chat, um, but there will always be time for that later on in another situation. Be on the lookout, working on some new things over here at Yes Bitch TV, also in collaboration with some of the Just Us League. So, we're here and we're trying to continue to be here. And just because Chasing Dallas has come to an end does not mean that is the end of the Just Us League. We will continue to push through and do other commentary and things of that nature. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, please follow the guest that we had on here today, Antonio, aka Abetoire, always Ricci as well. Really BTV, thank you so much for coming on. I love everybody, and we are at the end of the road, honey. You guys be blessed and never stressed. Enjoy your night. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great one.